Hello guys, good morning. I hope you're all doing good today. Welcome to another live Bookmap webinar. We've got JTrader joining us today, a professional stocks trader. These webinars are held every Wednesday at 10:15 AM Eastern Time and are part of our free education here at Bookmap. These live sessions give you the chance to look over the shoulder of a professional trader and see how they use Bookmap in their trading approach. Once we get going, please don't be shy and feel free to ask questions either in the YouTube chat or the Advanced Webinar Discord channel. Right, a couple of things to run through before we start. We've got JTrader's contact info here. If you want to reach out or hear more from Joseph, check out his website, Jtraderco. You can also connect with him on Twitter at Jtraderco. And just going to run through this disclosure. All Bookmap Ltd materials, information and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation demo paper trading mode and strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. Trading futures, equities and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Now, just waiting on JTrader, guys. There you are, sir. How are you? Can you hear me, Joseph?
Good morning, Sam. Yes, loud and clear.
Good stuff.
We'll start preparing my screen. Okay, I'm set over here with the screen.
Okay. Okay, you're good to go.
All right. So, hello traders. Session today on with Sam over here on Microsoft. So, earning play. We had substantially good morning price section for what concerns Microsoft. I was following this using ES and also the overall sector. First of all, over here, I'm looking at the bigger picture. So we can see traders, Microsoft on the daily chart. So we'll start doing analysis over here so that you can understand my lines and how I do this. So first of all, I start with the daily chart. And we can see over here we have a structure, which is a lower high, lower low. So we have a market bearish for all entire over here 2022. Now this point over here on Microsoft, we don't know if this will essentially be the higher low, or we had like over here that we start making higher lows and then why. So we need that to clear this 261, 262 resistance, and then essentially starting making dips over here. So only on the break of this level and then starting to dip, we'll have a bullish shift into the market scenario. Okay, for now over here we have no play for what concerns on the long term, a long swing. Okay, that's very important to clarify. Then I move over here to the hourly chart and I start digging more into the price section that we have on a daily basis. Essentially looking, you can see over here, all these levels are or pivot points or levels of high volume profile nodes. Okay, so we're looking at into those areas over here. What I like this morning was this low over here. So this is not inside, but this is my analysis that I provide to members in the room. So this level is an important level for support over here. We have a demand, but also is a confluence also of these highs over here. So it's a pretty important level at 231. Over here, I'm gonna share the analysis that I did this morning. And we can see over here, this is 742, Microsoft earning play. I explain, or I'm looking to play an over-under, so essentially fail to the short side, so shorting with target 234 and then 231, remember 7:42 a.m., or dip into the pre-market support 234 for reversal to the upside, okay? Essentially, you can see that we had this. And the chart that I shared, also I post this on socials. From time to time, I will put this on social, like macro analysis over here in the higher time frame HDF, together with the order flow and Bookmap. So we can see that we had over here, the trend line was looking for this level over here. This was still early pre-market. And then I set over here my levels, 231 hit. And then over here, also at 234. Okay, so confluence over here of signals for that 231. Very important area. The next, I would say, step is looking, so using Bookmap and looking what we have at around 231. 231, we have a big support area. You can see over here, high liquidity zone. Okay, we had a major over here bear trap. Okay, so we had over here a break of this 231, and this is what the smart money or the big ends, how you want to call it, is doing. So they're collecting over here on this point, sell stops. So they're collecting over here the stops from the long players, right? They're collecting also on these breakdowns, short sellers, and then they start pushing back up. Essentially, is the play that happened in the last, not yesterday, but 2 days before on Tesla, right? So the market was essentially giving morning breakdowns and then right away push. If you go back on Tesla, even on yes, you will see it. So here we dipped into this 231 and then we start bouncing over here. And my next step will be going 30 minutes, 5 minutes. We can go check the 5. I mean, it's a pretty reliable time frame that I like to use. You can see the previous low at 231. And this morning over here, this was the open. A plus setup. Well, yes, this is essentially what we had. Perfect pattern over here, over under. Fail 231 and then push back up. Okay. So I'm going to put over here a couple of notes. And I will also use over here Bookmap. We're going to use this and this point and this point. Okay. So the first part over here of our analysis and our watch list was trading over here the shorting level from strategy and target from strategy plus Bookmap. So we had over here a confluence of signals, all right? So over here, TP 231 from watch list. So this is not inside. This is the plan that I gave at 7:42, looking for, I'm sorry, I have a little bit of cough today, looking for the confluence over here of signals. Okay. Now, what I'm expecting is if we break this level over here, 234, okay, we're going to see this, or a possible fake out of this 234. So essentially another bull trap at this area like this, and a pullback right to into the 233, or a push to 234. Okay, so here we're going to look at Microsoft. So we had over here the gate, as I said, an over under. And we're going to look right now for that or fake out or 235. Okay. But here you can see that's a correct break, 234. So it's not faking out, it's not having and giving a bull trap. Now it's pushing strong to this 234 and 50. Next target will be 235. Waiting this push. So we'll revisit over here the trade. In this case, we're going to go red to green. So this is the important area. So this green area is the open level. Above, we're going to push over here. Next step, 237. So watching for that. And now also looking at SNOA. So this is a gap that we had this morning, above 100% on the day. And we had over here a good trade short this morning. This was the resistance I was watching, this 250 area. We had a short in area over here, 240, shared in room, explained to my members, timestamps, everything. We got it over here, 240s, and this is one of my favorite patterns. You can see this consolidation in this area, just in the pre-market, and then starting to break this low. You can see all the way down, distribution pattern. Came over here to the first target, okay? The first target, started to curl, 10 o'clock, holding over here the open level. Now strong over here. That's the reason why I have a precise and strict risk management. So now we have a breakout, high volume breakout, short our trap. When I see that I'm short over here, we get to the first target, and I always say stop to break even. Now just waiting over here, what? Looking for or the fill of 250 and lower highs, lower lows to reshort it again, or simply avoiding over here. Okay. Now this is strong at the moment. You can see over here the breakout, the volume stepping in, and we need just to wait that area on the daily. There's at this morning where there's 260. So you can see high volume area. Another main important resistance over here is 328. And of course, we'll consider also the hold dollar number. So these are the three main levels that I'm watching over here. So holding this level over here, this blue line is the pre-market high. You can see a ton of volume was straight over there. $245. Watching over here, as I said, or for that daily level. Now we got the 259. It's breaking down the pre-market high. So what I'm looking here below that pre-market high is going to be another rejection where I can get in short on this area here. Okay, I'm looking at that. For now, we have a fake of that pre-market high. Let's see if we can have another trade short just over here. We see now sellers in. So drop over here, drop over here. So they're selling over here. Probably longs over here that they got in. They just like went parabolic over here in this short squeeze. Now they're selling. They sold over here. They're selling a bit more over here. What's Microsoft as well? So we had our push over here to 235. No short yet on this. Making lower highs. This is a nice play that we had on Bookmap. Gap and extension play. We can see over here this morning fail. mean, when we see this big fake out over here, that's 720. This is the pre-market. This is the open. Right away, extend the 750. You can see that over here we cleared two main resistances and then started to unwind. These are some of the best pattern right now that is happening in this market. So for now, this is a fader. Support over here below the open level, this green. We could have pops probably into this area of consolidation 630. Over here, we have a consolidation area 630, 640. We could have pops and still unwind over here. So Tesla this morning, remember earnings season arrived, so start looking at when we have earnings. This is going to be today, tomorrow. This week, the whole week over here will be pretty interesting. We had over here what I call the three-way pattern. So peak, peak, peak. We had this trend line break, and then over here you see my levels. I placed this 137.50, 140.70, and then over here this morning we had this 142.80. So we had a morning push over here. This morning I tried to grab partial of this on the long side. Then you can see over here we started like to fail, right? Look over here, these three bars, 1, 2, 3. So they're making lower highs at this point, lower highs. They're making higher lows, so there's a contraction over here. You can see this flag or pennant. Right away they push and then they start fading all the way down. This is my analysis on the hourly. So this morning I was saying, or we're going to have a push until this trend line. Over here we can look for a rejection, or we're going to have a breakdown of this support. And the main target here, 137.50. On Goev, we are short 160, now holding this support with this 130. BXRX, we're short from yesterday. The 620s over here, all the way down. Chart shared everything, explanation in room. So we're holding that. BIF, we had a short yesterday at 350. Holding. Next target gonna be $2. So we're gonna hold this for $2. Again, all plays, alerted timestamps in front of all room. And we're looking over here for all this unwind. We can still get to the $2. Okay, buy off over here, nice extension yesterday. All right, let's go back to Tesla. I'm watching over here the possibility of a short below this trend line and rejection. You can see that previous support now becoming resistance. So I like this pattern. Also, we have the target, as we said before, this 137.50. So potential still unwind. Watch as well, traders, at ES. All right, so here we have the previous support, now resistance.
Just quickly, Joseph, we've got a question.
Yep,
Stan is asking,
sure.
what are the colored cloud areas on your charts? I think he's talking about the volume dots. Or maybe he's talking about the J lines. I'm not sure, but
These are J lines. So proprietary indicator that I use. It's 1/10 of the system that I use are Fibonacci expansion moving averages based on the Fibonacci numbers. What I see over here over time is that they are essentially a guide for the trend. So we can see over here the first part, right, of the move on Tesla. When this is above these other two, so we have this selection. This is bullish. Over here we have so we have over here our markup of the chart, this uptrend. Over here we have the distribution. Why every single push over here to this high is rejected, so we have sellers in. And then over here we're starting the possible markdown, so the reversal of the pattern on the break of this neckline 140.70. That is for me the level that I need to watch in case of a reclaim. We can go and push to 143. Below 140.70, we're gonna have them wide. Okay, so Tesla over here above 140.70 is going to be a target to 143. Instead, below 140.15, we're going to have a target of 137. They're starting to reclaim over here the 140. We have some buyers over here. You can see that they're trying to stack that 140.15. Still higher highs over here on Tesla. So I didn't long over here the lows. I'm waiting over here if you can fill this trend line and have a rejection or simply avoiding. This is one of the main stocks that I trade during the week. So I have very high confidence and pretty good win rate on something like Tesla. Main liquidity 140.50. Remember, getting traders to that main neckline over here, right? So this point over here is a pretty high resistance area. So let's watch over here. Still strong, not a fake out for now. Just strong over here tape. You can see how they broke over here the 140.50s, and it's simply uptrending, so strong. Not fighting that trend, just waiting over here. A lot of traders tell me, when you see this big level of resistance, are you shorting or are you selling if long? Well, no. Imagine over here that this is still making higher lows. Just look over here, even the 5-minute chart, higher lows, besides this bar over here that makes a lower low. But that's, part of over here, the bear trap, making still higher lows. The trend is clearly up. We're making also higher highs over here. So do not fight something like this. When it's strong, just stay with the trend and respect over here the price action. So holding this 140.50 uptrend. Let's wait, traders. I have patience over here. Already traded 6 stocks this morning. A good green day. If you are in my room, you can see all that I trade in. Just trade with me or look how I'm doing it. So for now, I'm just waiting the pattern. As I said, the pattern over here would be a reclaim of 140.70 and a curl. Okay, so consolidation, then buying dips too long, or a rejection of this 140.70, a trend line break, rejection, and short. Okay, so essentially, I'm looking for 2 main plays. This is one, and that one would be instead trend break. And I'm looking into short here and long here. Okay, so over here, what I like about this is over here the bear trap at this point and push it upside. Same bear trap that we had over here at the gate. That's the reason why I was looking to long this. You can see still traders over here, volume. And now we have to wait. No reason to short. Good liquidity over here. There we are, 141. What you see, traders, is that we're claiming that support area, okay, now resistance period support area at 140.70. If we reclaim that, the next target is going to be 142.70, 143. So this area over here. I'm not buying the breakout like over here. I will be looking for a consolidation above this area 140.70 and then looking to take a long. Still buyers over here. Still a lot of buyers. So possibility over here of an unwind. Okay. Just a pullback. Nothing crazy over here. So you can see that we had a 1 to triple top. And we can have a unwind over here, ideally to this 140.30. But over here, we still have no confirmation of the backside of the move that we saw before. We're holding this uptrend line, right? So you can see over here where we are right now. As I said, I want to see a break of this 141, consolidation above, and then looking to long or below the trend line, a rejection and shorting pops. Still below this 141. So the fact that we are pushing into that resistance is a pretty good sign. So big strand over here of the trend. You can see over here the bear trap at the lows started making higher lows, higher highs. Now let's see on this breakout how it's going to develop. There we are, 141 breakout. So I can see over here a ton of buying pressure. Look over here, massive buyers, okay? Bookmap you can see the confirmation of these big dots over here, big blue dots. So these are the buyers. And now we're looking at that level of 141 here. And ideally, I want to see a consolidation. So I'm not buying breakouts like this because often they can get right away a pullback directly again to the support. So I want to see a breakout, then a consolidation, and then take it along. So I'm waiting for that play. So bouncing from 141, so big support. And at this point, I'm looking or the dip or no trade for me over here. If this is going to be just strong over here, you can see these bars. These bar making a higher low from this point over here, 1053. This is already 6 consecutive bars, okay? If we're going to have a continuation of this trend, I'm simply going to avoid taking the trade. I want to only filter the A+ setups. Another higher low, because over here, so I'm selling at this 142 stack over here, area for resistance, 141.90. Go back to Microsoft. So still bounce over here. No play at the gate over here. The only main A+, sorry, no play over here this morning at the gate in the first few minutes, but then we had a perfect unwind over here on this unwind below the daily lines, below the VWAP, and now bounce, as we explained over here, from this 231s. And you can see over here now it's just like making up upper higher lows and lower highs. So we have a consolidation area. If you're going to hold this and start curling today, what I expect as target traders, there's going to be a fib retracement area. This is how you have to do it from here down till here. You want to look for those fibs. From this point to this area. So we're going to look for 236 and 43, okay? If we're going to hold this, that is going to be my target, this area here. That point over here, I can look too short. Otherwise, I'll look too short below the J lines, below the VWAP as well, and looking for a rejection.
You talk about focusing on A plus setups there, Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a question kind of on patience. As traders, we feel like we should always be doing something, and spending all day watching the market can sometimes feel a bit frustrating. So, do you have any advice for anyone that's impatient or impulsive when they're trading?
Yeah. Patience means essentially respecting your setups, respecting your strategy. And if you have no patience, means that market will run you over. Patience in selling at the correct price. So patient in waiting for the correct entry. So a lot of the times we have to just sit and wait sidelines. It's not that we make money simply by taking a trade, but also we make money by waiting for a trade. And a lot of times, I think in the career of every trader, you will see moment that you are more anxious, you have more FOMO. And how you prevent this? Well, first of all, you have to have your routine. So understanding every single day that you're trading only when your setup is in play. A routine to create a watch list where you have these playbook setups and you'll be waiting for them. The second thing is, I would say, management also of your shares, management or your contracts, depends. Management also of your targets, and also management of your risk reward ratio. So if we know that we're going to be profitable working with a certain setup because we have back tested it, and we know that we're looking for that risk reward ratio, so we're not going to cover or sell our position for 1 hour profit, but we're going to look for what our system tells us. So that could be 3, 4, 5, 6 hour, whatever that is. And we need this kind of patience to hold often for the targets. So it's not only traders, patience in waiting for the entry, because a lot of times traders are, let's say, not profitable and they're waiting for the entry. They get maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hour profit. And when they get stopped out, maybe 60% of the times they get stopped out 1 or 1.5 hour loss. What is going to happen? You're going to not be successful, and therefore you have instead to look for managing the trade correctly. So it's not only about taking the trade, but it's also like holding your targets. That's what I believe makes a trader profitable in the long term.
Right, yeah, very good. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. So over here, traders, we are back with Microsoft, and we're seeing over here we have a wedge. This is a pattern that, as I said, I traded the gate. No, but I wait the first few minutes, seeing the rejection, and then over here we short it. In our plan over here, we explained exactly with the target 231 over here, 742. 231 is target. So we're looking for only on the two short. That's the A plus setup. And from that level, we had a bounce over here. And we went to that 234, which was another important level over here. You can see this green dotted 233 and 80s. Then we had Tesla. And over here this morning, we had 4 main plans according to what was going to happen in the scenario. So I can bring up over here Tesla. And this is my trend. You can see over here all the way up. We had over here a bounce play just last week. Consolidation area this morning pre-market. This was very early. Okay, so I made over here the plan around 740, 750. And I was looking for this high over here. So this 146 and 50 for a push into it and a rejection. The second one, I was looking for a long in case of a fill of the 140, reclaim of this area 141, and then push to this target high. The third one over here was on a fill 140. I want to look for this target over here 136. So we go back over here on Tesla. What we had over here was a fill of this 140. We didn't get to this support over here 137.50. Came back up. So we can see that we have buyers over here stepping in. Reversal upside. Now potential push to this 143, as we have proved to have buyers over here at the lows at 139, 140. So at the open level over here, 141. Still a high liquidity over here. Nice set of higher lows, same top. So we have over here two possible scenarios. Level of resistance, this 235. I'm gonna put over here. Microsoft. 235 level of resistance. So if we confirm the break of the wedge of this 235, as we are saying, and start bouncing on this 235, then we're going to look for this area here. Want to see a consolidation above this area. We're going to look for a possible dip buy, looking for the upside. What I don't want to look instead, what I don't want to see instead is exactly what's happening right now. So we had a fake breakout over here, coming back in the range and just starting to do this all the way. Okay, so I would prefer to see a consolidation, look into long over here in this area, and then taking a reversal long play. Any more questions, Sams?
I think that's it from the chat. I caught up. Yeah, you've talked about Tesla. Somebody was asking about Tesla, but we've been covering that. Yep.
Yeah, Tesla right now, open level. As we said, at this point, target is going to be 143. When I see over here a reclaim like we did this morning, so dip right away, pushed back up. Over here now, target is 143. 143, we can look over for a rejection again and back into the range, or consolidation above 143, break of this trend line, and then more push to the 145. So the next target I have on a hourly and daily chart. Over here, they're trying to break this 142. Let's see if they're gonna push it. These points of red to green, it's a pretty good level where a lot of traders will jump in if we go green on the day. So traders will be looking for a reclaim of this 142 and then after they'll be looking to play this long on a hold over here of this 142, which is the red to green area. Still strong above 142. So it's dipping over here and it starts curling. Now 142 and 50 is going to go that 143. We didn't have a consolidation, just like for now, breaking out and pushing. Back down to the 142. I've been only looking to long over here with some consolidation into the 142 area. Some of the trades of today, short on Amazon over here. This is from the team. Sam, any more questions?
I ran a poll there on YouTube asking people how many trades they take per week on average. The results are quite diverse. It's kind of what you would expect, as everybody has different strategies and approaches. But I'm just interested to know how many trades on average would you say you take per week?
Per week, we can say around, if we're talking about stocks, I differentiate because I trade both small caps and big caps. So let's say I'm only looking at big caps. I would say around 10 trades per week, more or less.
Okay.
So generally a couple of trades a day. If I'm trading small caps, I would say around 15, 20 trades per week.
Okay.
Oh, I'm, not scalping. I'm trying to take, one or two position per stock per day. Maybe even only one if I, take the right one. Then of course, if a position is running, I may take partials. So I could still consider, one trade, but I will scale out, or I will possibly even, sometimes re-add if I have another setup. But I would say like for big caps, 2 position a day, so like around 10 per week.
And does it vary quite a lot? Like, do you go weeks where you just don't see your setup and you just patiently waiting?
I almost have every single day the setups. So it's very rare. For one day, I take no setups because the strategy that I teach works on a daily basis. On a daily basis. So is really just like waiting for the pattern, just like taking the trade, and that's it. That's it.
Great. The most popular was over 25. 41% of the viewers take more than 25 trades per week.
Okay, so active traders, day traders, I like that.
Yeah.
Some active traders.
I also posted in a quote there. If most traders would learn to sit on their hands 50% of the time, they would make a lot more money. Yeah,
It's true.
that's about
It's
kind of
true.
picking your moments and waiting for your A plus setups and not being impatient.
Exactly. I mean, everybody can get impatient. The point is, if somebody makes an error that enters and it's anticipating, just, like recognize it. Maybe you can cut it right away. At least that is what I do. When I see something that I did wrong, I cut it right away, and then I can retrade it later without, a bad average or like adding to a losing position, which I don't really like to do in my trading. So I have fixed rules for when I take trades. Sam, I need to close over here today a little bit earlier. So what about if we can wrap it up over here? Is around 11:20.
Yep, sure. Maybe you've got just 60 seconds. Just one final question, if you've got time. Someone
Of
just
course.
someone wrote. Can you quickly talk about the importance of 1 minute candle close and dojis or inside bars? I mean, maybe it's not such a good question actually. 1 minute is quite a random noise, but I'll let you talk about it.
Okay. So we will need to talk about this at least 1 hour.
Okay.
Um, I use candlestick patterns in my trading, and this is candlestick recognition, pattern recognition. That could be, harami, engulfing, doji, inverted hammer, hanging man, all of this. The point is, alone, it doesn't really mean much. But in a scenario where you have other tools together with a candlestick, then those can become some good entry points in your trading. Okay. So is using those candlesticks patterns together with other signals. For example, you could have let's say a doji stuffed together with a big heat map rejection together with the VWAP. And that could be a good short, okay, or vice versa for long. So a lot of these have to be filtered together with other signals. That's the most important thing.
Okay, thank you. That's great. And as always, so much value you've provided. And thanks, guys, for watching. If you learned something, please hit that like button and join us again next time. We have Scott Pulsini tomorrow and Joseph again next Wednesday. But thank you all for watching.
Thank you very much, guys. See you next week, and take care. Trade safe. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.